Are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Wednesday edition of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. I'm Anthony Hartwig. Scotty's up there. Ty is with us, too. It's a full studio today as we're going to have some fun on Wednesday. We have Brian Tolnar coming on at 1 o'clock as well. We're going to have a fun Wednesday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to today. I get to experience Brian Tolnar here on a Wednesday, too, for the first time since he's back for this season. So exciting to talk to him. And, of course, I get to also see Scotty after missing him last week as well. So
It's
it's
been a while
nice.
for you and Scotty together.
It has been a while. So it's nice to see us both in the same show again.
It is nice. I feel like it's been at least a month. So, yeah.
Well, Scotty, you drilled it so good in last week's show as my co-host. I just figured, hey, you're here in the studio. What's this? Ride with you, man.
Yeah.
Ride with the arm. Ride with the hot arm, right? We're going to the pen, Ty.
Going to the pen? That's
yeah.
fine with me. I'm all right with Scotty coming in to close things out.
I could be the Emmanuel Classe.
Yeah, just don't take
Throwing-
horse tranquilizers.
Yeah.
I
I don't think you got to worry about that with Scotty. I don't think he's going to cheat the game like that. He plays clean.
know. I don't know. He tried to punch me today, so.
Did he?
No, that was only during March Madness.
Oh.
We had that.
Things got a little out of hand in that party.
Yeah.
We have some results from last night, Ty. One of the best days for baseball and softball that we've had all April. And we finally got some baseball and softball in. Like we always do, Ty, let's start with where each of us were. You were in Austin Town Fitch, and the Falcons welcomed in a very good Massillon-Tuslaw team that it was the reigning district champions. You all remember that this is the team that South Range beat in the regional semifinals last year to get to Ursuline. And they gave Fitch a really good game, Ty. Talk about what you saw and what the difference was.
It was honestly going to be a pitcher's duel in that circle. As mentioned too, they got Meredith Rankle on the Tuslaw Mustangs team, and she's a Cleveland State commit. She's a great product in that circle, right-hander, and she had her great stuff working in last night's game. But so did the freshman superstar, the untouchable Sydney Watts too, as we've coined her. And looking at this, it was just like that first 3 innings. Through both of these girls were exchanging, and it felt like they were just evening. I think both had 8 strikeouts through the first 3. Just dominating numbers from both girls. And then, honestly, offense came in 2 swings of the bat, first 2 swings in the bottom half of the 4th on the first 2 pitches. Maddie Taylor broke things open first pitch, bottom of the 4th, in a home run to left field. And then Sydney Watts came right back, next pitch, hit it to right center, and it was back-to-back jacks. I'm sure you've seen videos swirling around the socials, Anthony, too. But if you didn't see it in that game, too, it was a heck of a moment. Maddie Taylor got player of the game for just kind of breaking that open and getting momentum, as it ended up being all the runs Fitch needed, as Tuslaw was able to come back, get a run in the top half of the 6th inning off of a wild pitch on Sydney Watts. And Allie Foley came up big. It's always someone else with this Falcons team. RBI double in the bottom half of that inning, reclaiming a 2-run lead, 3-1. And Fitch never looked back, as Watts went 7 innings complete, struck out 14, brought up her total to 125 on the season as she continues to sizzle, and so do the Falcons now as they go to 10-0, beat undefeated Tuslaw, who now goes to 3-1.
I guess it's time to be a disclaimer again. Do not follow links like this in the comments.
That's the only reason why I pop them up. I tried not to, but I mean, just to give people a good example.
Like this, that's not real. And do not follow the link. So
follow everything. If it's, you got to go through our site too and our social media pages. We'll also post live videos a lot of the time too on our socials. So if it's not on our socials or you're not getting it directly from our site, and that's not including any ads or any third-party stuff that pops up on our site or our socials, keep with
we are going to block that user and we're going to delete the comment right now. Block, delete, and that is gone. So it has not happened.
All caps is blocked.
You're blocked. You share fake links on our show, Scotty. We're kicking you out, right, bud?
Yeah.
Scotty's
like the bouncer for Running Point.
Scotty is the bouncer. He's like,
Scotty waits at the front door of Running Point, and he just makes sure he'll take care of anyone for us that tries to get in.
I Dikembe Mutombo.
No. Back to Austintown Fitch Tuslaw tie. You said it. Maddie Taylor opened up the fourth with a home run. First pitch of the at-bat. Do you think that was an adjustment? Because that's the second time in the lineup. And obviously, she was going first pitch strikes and getting ahead of a lot of hitters. So do you think in the dugout, these hitters were like, okay, she's coming into us first pitch. Let's attack the first pitch and just drill it. And Maddie Taylor and Sydney Watts both on their first pitches of the at-bat, drilled back-to-back homers.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I did actually end up talking to both Maddie Taylor, and I think I asked Coach Ward the same question that second time through the lineup when both pitchers are kind of feeling themselves right there. What is kind of the discussions in the dugout when you go up to face a pitcher like that, has their best stuff working second time around? I think they just got a great approach. They were going aggressive. They knew that Meredith Rankle was throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but a lot of those first pitch strikes were coming off the fastball that she was keeping right around knee high and above too, and just a couple of pitches that she let sail a little bit too high, and it was probably more around belt high than knee high where it was supposed to be. And both Maddie Taylor and Sydney Watts did what you're supposed to do with it, deposited it out of the field of play, and got the Falcons up with a huge lead, 2-0.
Scotty, you know this too. Belt high fastballs, they get out of here in a hurry.
Yeah. It's it's the it's like the old saying with like knuckleballs: if it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. You can really get on top. I mean, sometimes the high fastballs you can get it past certain people, but a lot of times you leave it high in the zone.
Meredith
smacked really good.
Meredith Rankle deserves all the credit in the world, too, for pitching a great performance. Not by any means was she tagged for a lot of runs. She still struck out 13 Falcons, 27 strikeouts combined between the two pitchers through 7 innings.
That's a Tuslaw team that our Division III teams are gonna have to keep an eye on in the regionals.
They were the ones that South Range beat last year, correct?
South Range beat them to get to Ursuline in the regional semis. So we'll definitely probably be seeing them at some point in the tournament, and we'll keep an eye on Tuslaw as they continue their softball season. You had a chance to talk with Coach Ward and Maddie Taylor after the game. Let's see what they had to say in their post-game press conferences.
With winning coach of today, Coach Steve Ward of the Austintown Falcons, 3-1 over Tuslaw. And I don't know, it just seems like you guys get games that are opening and you just manage to get some of the best competition in the area this time. The Mustangs, talk to me about this game going into it, what the kind of message was to the girls prior to going out there and playing one of Massillon area's best.
Well, we knew they were going to be a very strong team, losing in the regionals to South Range last year and seeing the record at 3-0 and defeating Canal Fulton. We knew that they were going to be a very strong team, that they were going to bring big bats. They have all state players on their team. They have the Cleveland State commit in the mound. So we knew we had our work cut out for us, and our team, so proud of them because there's so many outside distractions that could come in, but they really focused themselves today, did what they needed to do, chipped away, and we took advantage of opportunities when they presented.
Player of the game was Maddie Taylor, but I mean, her and Sydney Watts going back-to-back big fly, and those were huge runs to kind of boost your momentum, and it ended up being just enough for you guys to come away victorious. Talk to me that second time through the lineup, what you're kind of saying, or if they're asking you questions as the coach, what you're kind of saying to them going through against a very good pitcher in Rankle.
Well, again, one thing, credit to all of our coaching staff. We all have the same message throughout. It's just making small in-game adjustments. Sometimes we're just trying to come up out of our legs a little bit too much, or we're trying to just do too much. Once we relax and come through and, we really preach just hit singles. Singles are what's going to win the game. And then, of course, Maddie Taylor goes up and hits the home run. As she's coming back, she's like, no, Coach, I was going to hit a home run today. I was like, hey, I'll take that too. But it's the mindset of we're just looking for line drive base hits. Anything extra is a plus. And when we try to do too much, that's when you see us get into a little trouble with pop-ups and things like that. So credit to the players for their in-game adjustments because they did not get down. They knew we were going up against a super high-quality team, and they just never quit.
I asked Maddie Taylor this, but I'm going to ask it to you too from that coaching perspective. You've been there in the regionals, the tournaments, the district tournaments and stuff before. How important are games like this against high quality competition like this in the long run of getting back to tournaments?
You can't manufacture that in practice. You can't do that in games where, sometimes we are getting ahead by pretty farce and we get away with some things that we're not going to get away with in these close games. And so being able to sharpen ourselves, we always say iron sharpens iron. And, credit to Tulsa. They are a tough team and they really made us work for it. Defense came to play. Sydney Watts, just day in, day out, just performing at a high level. And our bats, we strung together a couple hits, 2 big hits, and Allie Foley coming in with the big RBI, coming in at a pitch hit. And, I can't give enough credit to these players.
And honestly, one thing I got to ask, too, because it seems like every time I'm talking to you, we're either in some 40-degree weather, there's some snow, rain, something falling. We actually had a 67-degree day. It was sunny. It was beautiful. Just take me in that locker room. How happy were the girls to actually get out there and play in this?
Well, right before the game, if you see us, we are definitely not a traditional team warming up. I think in the years past I would have lost my mind or had a lot more gray and white hairs coming in because they are such a relaxed team. Literally, they said they wanted to work on their tan. And as the other team is warming up, they're just lined up, sitting there, talking to each other, watching the other team warm up, and just enjoying the sun and enjoying being together. That this is such a tight-knit group. I can't tell you that the love they have for each other, how much they're going to defend and get each other's backs, and how excited they get for each other's success. So when you talk to Maddie Taylor, you see her beaming more about Allie Foley's hit than her home run. And that's the type of team and quality we have in our players.
My last question, I could go the traditional route and ask you about how you use this for momentum, but no, I got to ask about the paddles because they bring up, every single one of these players bring up this paddle. So I got to bring up, what is the deal with these paddles now, Coach?
I guarantee I'm going to get a call from one of the gym teachers one day, and they're going to say we're trying to play badminton and there's no paddles. Where the heck are they? I have no idea how it started. There just keeps becoming more and more of them in the dugout. I can't explain. They're sneaking them in now. They're hiding them in their bag. They're pulling them out. A mom came and dropped one off right before the game. And I'm just looking around. It's something that I think they know drives me crazy a little bit, so they have a little fun with it. But it's just one of their ways that they found to just bond together in a stupid, fun way. And they really get behind it. And so I'm definitely not messing with it with what they're doing out on the field. So whatever they want to do, I'm not going to mess with it.
Falcons and paddles are making noise here, and so is Austintown off to the tune of a 10-0 start. Coach Ward, after this post-game 3-1 victory over Tulsa, thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
With today's player of the game, Maddie Taylor, with a solo shot today and a 1-for-2 performance, broke up a scoreless tie against Tulsa. And just talk to me. That Meredith Rankle, she's a phenomenal pitcher. Cleveland State commit. We knew it was going to be a pitching matchup. Second time up, what were you looking for? And got to ask that question. What were you looking for? What did you get in that second approach against her?
So my first at bat, I noticed the first pitch was pretty much right down the middle. And then I noticed that for all the girls, she was just throwing pretty much right down the middle for everybody the first pitch. So my second at bat, I just looked for that first pitch, and that first pitch I just took it.
Looking at this too, Sydney Watts continues to dazzle in the mound too. When you have so many younger players stepping up like it is, how does that make you as a senior feel, and how easy is it to kind of lead a group of girls that seem so willing to just learn?
It feels great because all the girls are really experienced. They come from really good travel teams, so they're all really familiar to this, and they're very experienced. It feels great to have them knowing that like they're gonna come up next year and years to come and just perform.
You guys are now off to a 10-0 start, and it seems like you're just having the best of times while doing it too. Just talk to me about just the excitement level and the energy level that this team brings game in and game out, and how much fun you're having along the way.
We have so much fun in the dugout. That is honestly the best part of our part of the game. Honestly, we have we have paddles in the dugout that we use to kind of like to rally it up or whatever. We like hit them against the garbage cans and everything. It just the energy we have in the dugout is amazing because we all have each other's backs and we support each other throughout the whole way.
Who was louder with the paddles after their home run? Was it yours or was it Sid's? Who got louder with the paddles in that dugout?
Probably Sid.
As Sid and them, you guys are rocking with those paddles. I got to ask too. This is still good competition. You guys are playing a monstrous schedule too. But you guys have all kind of hinted at this is the kind of level of competition that you want to play. Talk to me about when you guys play games like this, how beneficial this is going to be going back to the tournament. As you being a senior, you've been there, done that before.
Yeah, games like these are really going to benefit us in the long run once we get to like districts, regional, stuff like that. I think it's really important because it also gets us closer as a team.
And looking at that now, you guys are going to have a Big Myrtle Beach trip coming up. Just highlight that real quickly before I let you go. The excitement level for that. You're going to play some good competition, but also we know it's a huge team bonding experience as well.
Yeah, we're all so excited. It's all we talk about every single day. We're just excited to go down there. We're going to play some really good teams down there, so we're excited.
Final question for you, because I've been asking everyone. You guys rock that dugout, whether I'm here or whether I'm at the baseball field. I always hear you guys rocking it. Who's the loudest, in your opinion, in that dugout?
Probably Allison Foley.
Allison Foley gets a vote for the loudest in the dugout. We've heard her. We've heard Kayla Schubert. They all love to make noise through the Falcons, and they're continuing to make noise off to a 10-0 start with a 3-1 victory over Tuslaw today. Maddie Taylor's your player of the game after hitting a big fly to break the scoreless tie. Maddie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was Maddie Taylor and Steve Ward after Austintown Fitch's 3-1 win over Tuslaw to move to 10-0 on the season. They'll travel down to Myrtle Beach next to try to get some quality games. And as Steve Ward said, work on that tan a little bit more for you guys. You know?
Work on that tan a little bit more. And I mean, just a great interview by both Coach and Maddie Taylor.
Getting an update from Mark Roth that the baseball game has been moved to a home game against Lakeview. That should be a good one. Lakeview is coming in hot.
Yeah, get out there and support too. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to make that one because it was originally scheduled as a Lakeview away game too. So I was not put on that one. But get out there to that ballpark, folks, and get out there and support because
Quinn.
Well, Quinn can't. I already told Quinn Wednesday was off limits. I'm at other job today because they were all supposed to be away. So looking at that though, Fitch won yesterday against Cardinal Mooney on the baseball side, 5-2. They go to 6-1 now on the baseball scene. This is now a huge game for them with another power ranked team, and this is now Fitch all of a sudden their second chance now against a power ranked team. After
Lakeview didn't break through yet. I mean, we think they might next week, but they're still not power ranked.
That's true, but I mean, we're thinking they're going to be a power ranked team too. I think likely too. No matter what they do, that's beautiful to put. Well, actually, that's week one. We do have week two.
They put both of them.
Yeah, there we go. We have week two up there. But yeah, Lakeview, I think we could see cracking that top 10 with or without a win against Fitch. I think with a win, it's almost surefire against the number 6 seed because you already beat number 2. But, I mean, Fitch now, if you win this one against Lakeview after Lakeview just kind of beat Ursuline, I think that everyone kind of takes care of each other because Lakeview has a win on Ursuline, Ursuline has a win on Fitch, Fitch beats Lakeview. So it's like, does everyone just kind of stay where they're at? I think you might see Ursuline drop and Lakeview make an appearance then because then you kind of have all three of those teams covering each other.
Scotty, what are your takes on this, the power rankings? I know we didn't really get a chance to talk to you about it yesterday. So, I mean, you see girls and boys.
Well,
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, you guys talked about Fitch a lot so far in the show, and just super impressed with them. Lakeview, I have a feeling they're gonna get in and crack this top 10. They just seem to be really a resilient bunch, in my opinion. Um, I'd love to see my Rockets
Make some noise.
make some noise.
they
This
can too on that MVAC for the baseball side, I think too, and I think we've had Coach Doherty too on before, and I mean it was a great conversation with them. I think they got the right places in the right or the right people in the right places, I should say too. And I mean, from what we've seen, Anthony, they've been competitive too throughout the season.
You look at this baseball one, Ty, and that number 7 team, they're making some moves. They're making some moves as Ursuline's woes continue. Columbiana goes into Scene Park last night. They beat the Irish, and Zach Pleska continues the pitching dominance for Columbiana. Columbiana only going into last night. Columbiana had only given up 2 runs all season, and they only gave up 2 to the Irish as the Clippers win 4-2. Riley McElwain finished with multiple hits for the Clippers. So did Alex Eusebio. Seth Spooner came in, got the save for Columbiana. He threw 2 innings out of the bullpen. And we saw Pleska. He struck out 11 in 5 innings against the Irish lineup, a very good Irish lineup. So Columbiana, they're 6-0, and the Irish are on the week.
Yeah, and I mean that's +2 for me at the end of the day too. So I'll take that as well, Anthony. So mark that for my
other scores today. We split on more than that.
Yeah, I know, but that is +2 my way. No, Columbiana looking real good, and you put that up, and I mean making a bid for the top 5 now. I think for sure after beating Ursuline, that's a huge win for the Clippers. I think
with that pitching, I mean. Columbiana, they're making serious headway. You look at it, their next game for Columbiana, they're going to go to Southern to finish their season series with the Indians tonight. Ursuline will be in action tonight as well as they take on Mooney in round 1 of the Holy War. So can Ursuline right this ship? I mean, they lost to Lakeview, and now they've lost to Columbiana, 2 teams that no disrespect, but you don't expect a team like Ursuline to lose to.
Here's a question. If Mooney beats Ursuline, does Ursuline drop off the list altogether?
Whoa, like a 0-3 week? Yeah, I mean,
I feel like Mooney has to take their spot then as the SVC representative then, because
they have to not like their literal spot. I don't think Mooney jumps to
no, not to 2.
But take their spot in the rankings, maybe, yeah.
Get a spot maybe in like the 10. Mooney's been on that outside looking in. There's a few teams too, but that would certainly go a long way. I think Columbiana has almost guaranteed a spot in the top 5 next week now, and I gotta imagine they're jumping a little bit. They're continuing
unless something crazy happens, like they lose to a Southern team like Southern that they
like
beat 47-0 on Monday. Or
their pitching is off the charts right now. It's unbelievable. They went into the last night's game having allowed only 2 earned runs all season, and I mean, continuing to show dominance against some of the best lineups in the area.
And it's not just Pleska either. I mean, we saw Eusebio get a no-hitter already this season. So it's other guys too. You got to have pitching depth, especially in baseball, for a strong regular season. Now, in the tournament, you can have 2 good starters and kind of mow through the tournament. But in a regular season, to have a really good record in the regular season, you got to have good pitching depth. And Columbiana is kind of flexing their muscles out of that bullpen. Scotty, what do you think about Columbiana's pitching? I mean, to hold Ursuline's lineup to 2 runs.
Yeah, well, that's the name of the game, isn't it? And I think you guys, it seems to me, I get the impression that you feel as far as Ursuline goes, that it's more of a cause for concern than a minor bump in the road here with these couple losses. for Ursuline. But yeah, that Columbiana pitching, man, they've just been a well-oiled machine so far.
I don't know about
Very
you.
impressed.
I don't know about you. I don't think I would hit the panic button quite yet for Ursuline, but I would have my hand kind of hovering over it. I mean, that's
It's like that meme with that guy sweating. He's like
right.
has his hand ready, but not quite on the button yet.
I think honestly, when we look at the Irish, I think I feel the same way about Ursuline that I said about Salem. I think yesterday is that this is still going to be a good team at the end of the season. I don't think that this little lull period is going to define their season, but I do think it's enough to get them off the list, especially if they lose to Mooney. And that doesn't mean they don't make another appearance and they can't get right back up to that one of the top spots again on the list too. But we've seen teams in basketball that got knocked off the list, got knocked out of number 1 down to like number 5, number 6, and still went up to number 1 again. So it's not detrimental, but it's just a factor of what's happened on the field too. It's just been some tough losses for the Irish.
And at the end of the day, Ty, like everyone in baseball knows, you'd rather have a lull in April than a lull in May. So if Ursuline has to go through this to kind of right the ship and get their act together before tournament starts and they start to make their stride in May, I think Coach Kemp would be more than happy to take a couple of losses in April if that means a deep tournament run in May.
Yeah, no doubt. I think they'll be just fine.
And another positive I think you could take from it is more than any other sport, if you're the manager, I think, baseball, softball, more than any other sport, you have your peaks and valleys. So like you said, Anthony, I think it's better to go through a little struggle now. Maybe it humbles them a bit here. It could be a bit of a humbling experience. And then they get back on track. And who knows, like Ty said, they could be back near the top of the power rankings. You never know at season's end.
Yeah, with all the talent on that roster, I would be surprised if they're not still making noise at the end of the season. Let's go over some other scores. Lakeview Softball, we talked about their baseball team. Their softball team made some noise last night too. They are in the power rankings. They're sitting at 7, I believe. They're sitting at 8 right now, but they beat Columbiana last night handedly, Ty, 7-1. They went to Firestone Park. They looked super impressive. Ella Chadwick got the start, pitched, I believe, 5 1/3, and then Reagan Schick came on and finished the game. Got this. I mean, it wasn't a safe situation, but Game Changer calls it a save. So Reagan Schick came on, pitched well out of the bullpen to kind of keep Columbiana quiet. The difference in this game, Ty, both teams put runners on base. Lakeview just had a lot more situational hitting go their way.
Yeah.
Timely hitting can win games, and I think last night was a big shining example of that because Columbiana continuously left runners on. I looked at their scorebook after. It wasn't on, like, this isn't a stat that goes on Game Changer. This is just extra stats that the coaches keep. 8 runners left in scoring position for the Clippers last night, which is just not a formula for winning softball.
First and foremost, +6 for Tyler in that one. Ty gets another +6 in that 7-1 victory. But now looking at this, it's a prime example of what we've said to every Lakeview player when we had Coach Schick on. The mentality of this season has been not only first and foremost finishing games, but staying aggressive through games. And that's the biggest thing we saw with Lakeview. Weren't satisfied after they put 1 or 2 runs over the plate. They wanted more, and they kept on applying more. And it was a game where they took a commanding lead and they held it too. Behind good pitching, it's always easy when you have some great offense to help it out too. Take the pressure off them in the circle.
Pitching was good, Ty. I just want to give a shout out to their defense. They made multiple, oh my gosh, plays. Turned a double play in one inning. The other inning, Kylie Imes made a jumping catch at short to rob a base hit. Their defense came to play last night. It was like they were on a mission. Hopefully Lakeview gets to play tonight. They're supposed to play at Howland. I don't know what the field conditions are like in Howland. I know last night they had to postpone the game against Canfield because the field just wasn't ready to play yet. Hopefully with a dry day yesterday and a dry night and not a ton of rain today, they can get that field ready to go.
And with this too, Anthony, I don't know if we mentioned it. Do we think Lakeview maybe possible dark horse for a regional appearance? I mean, with the way they've been playing as of late.
When you think of they came this close to beating Marlington, who won the district last year. It's right there. We might actually see a Hubbard Lakeview district championship.
That would be pretty cool.
That's what it was heading towards last year. And then Marlington came back and beat Lakeview. And then Hubbard had the same situation where they had chances to beat Marlington. They were right there. They had a lead late, and Marlington squeaked out another one and got the district championship. So when you look at games like that and you look at both those teams, Hubbard and Lakeview, both getting experience this year and getting more experience. Haley Croyle for Hubbard in her senior season coming in to pitch. Both those teams have absolutely a chance to win a district.
I think it's going to be so interesting too, and it all starts with that conference play, because that NE8 is no joke either. None of the real conferences around here are, and I mean, we're going to see that too. I'm going to be interested to see how Lakeview competes with the South Ranges of the world, the Polands of the world, when they got to square off with Hubbard. Like, these are going to be the big matchups too for Lakeview in that NE8, and how they play in the conference. I don't want to say is going to go as far as to say it's going to define how their season's going to go, but I mean, you just talk about good competition that they're going to face. How they play in the conference is going to be pretty reflected, and you would think, on how they're going to perform against playoff level caliber teams.
Yeah, and like Chris Sigler said yesterday, none of these teams have played each other yet. So when this
craziest thing,
when this conference season gets going, I mean, you look at the power rankings one more time, you'll look at it and it's South Range, Poland, Lakeview, and Hubbard all in the power rankings, but none of them have played each other yet. That's going to clear up this image a lot when they start to play each other. What team can separate themselves from the other? Right now, you still kind of give the favorites to Poland and South Range just because they won it last year and they haven't looked like they're slowing down at all. But, Hubbard and Lakeview are biting at the heels, and they want a chance to really get – well, I should correct myself, by the way. Hubbard did play Poland, and they lost on a walk-off home run 2-1, but they still have to play them again, and South Range twice and Lakeview twice. So we'll see how all that goes as the season winds on and trickles on. Let's get to some other scores in the area. Scotty, I know you got the laptop up. You can talk about some of these games as well. Salem, the Quakers, their softball team, they took it to Lisbon 11-1, and that was one that we called, right? We both picked the Quakers to win this game. And like we talked about Ursuline, Lisbon might be starting to hit that panic button a little bit. This is a team that won the EOAC last year. They still have a lot of talent, but right now, just not putting it together on the field.
Yeah, just got to figure out a couple of things too, but you got to give it to the Quakers. I mean, they've suffered their bumps on the chin too, and they've really just done a great job of adjusting and keeping themselves composed, and now they were able to battle out a big victory too, maybe some confidence boost now for the Quakers as the season rolls on. And as far as Lisbon's concerned, I mean, hey, it just take it one swing at a time, one at bat at a time. Things will figure itself out eventually too. Just got to keep putting work in.
Salem wants 15 wins to break that program record. They're at win number 3 now on the season as they beat Lisbon 11-1.
And I also think, as far as Lisbon goes, when you have great success one year, it's not that, like, obviously they have the talent with that roster to do it again, but it's always harder when you go from being the hunter to now you're the hunted, because it's expected and you're going to get everyone's best shot. That's what makes it tough. It's going to make it tough, in my opinion, for Lisbon to get back on track here.
To Scotty's point too, to your point, Scotty, I don't think it's necessarily a case of Lisbon getting worse from last year as much as it is every other team in the conference has just gotten better. You've seen your Uniteds of the world really start to put into this softball program, and you're just seeing competition levels rise all the way around. Columbiana, we know what they're able to do too in the softball realm and how competitive they're going to be too. So, I mean, this is a tough conference as it is, and all these teams have gotten better as well. Sure, Lisbon's lost a decent amount of what made last year's team too, senioring out, but it's still a good team. Problem is, every other team got better in the conference.
Right. And, I feel like Justice Vrabel, McKenna Daly, Maya Emmerling, they're all good enough to right the ship. I think Lisbon's going to be okay. They just have to have one of those aha moments, or eureka moments where it's like, okay, we have to up our game now. We have to raise our standard, raise our bar, because everyone else in this league is. And like we said with Ursuline, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So if they can pull it together and find a stride going into May, it really doesn't matter that they lost all these games, because everyone gets in. So if they make a run in May, it's really not going to matter how many games they lost in April. Let's look at West Branch softball, Ty. Not very often do you see two players hit two bombs in the same game. But Skylar Green-Ison and Sydney Mercer both hit 2 home runs in West Branch's 15-5 win over Canton South. And for Green-Ison, 6 RBIs. One of her bombs was a grand slam. Talk about a night for West Branch hitting.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, that's why I double checking again, number 3 in the power rankings, as you see too, for us. And that's huge for West Branch too, continuing to showcase why they deserve to be a top 5 ranked team. And it's just because this offense, and you've gotten a chance to see them. I haven't seen them personally live yet, Anthony, but they have offense that is able to explode. And it seems like any inning they're capable of just smashing some out of the park too. And all of a sudden, 1-0 game can become a 5-0 game in a blink of an eye, or they might be trailing 2-0, and all of a sudden it's 7-2 because all of a sudden bats woke up for an inning.
We saw them score 6 runs in one inning against Boardman in a game that it looked like the Spartans had control of. So they can come back on you in a hurry. They can get the bats going in a hurry, and they're proving it already this season. Just that one loss to Ursuline so far for West Branch. But they have Marlington coming up. They have a game with Hubbard on the horizon. Still a lot of big games for West Branch to continue the season. A Minerva team that's actually surprising some people and doing pretty good in that ABC on Thursday for West Branch. Jackson Milton, close your ears, Scotty, because Jackson Milton took it to Lowville. I'm sorry. On the baseball diamond.
It hurts.
Jackson Milton looks really good, and they continue their winning ways. Struthers got their first win of the season as they beat Girard on the baseball diamond last night. Poland took care of business in Jefferson. They get the win over the Falcons on the softball diamond. We have Canfield. They get the win over Howland, 11-0. The Cardinals, hey, in the AAC, they're like, hey, like you said, they're mad about that loss to Boardman, and they kind of flex their muscles on Howland a little bit.
That's exactly what the Cardinals were looking to do too. Wanted to make sure they reminded everyone that that AAC crown was in Canfield last season, and that's exactly where they intend for it to be again going into this season.
Liberty softball beat Kimmel 17-2. We have Girard softball beating Struthers 14-4. Crestview baseball shut out Brookfield 10-0 in a big win for the Rebels. They keep rolling on the baseball diamond. Another baseball score for you. Hartland Christian defeated Lisbon 18-3 on the baseball field. Big day for the Lions as they reign supreme as king of the jungles. Jungle, not jungles. What am I doing? Newton Falls blanks LeBray 8-0 on the softball diamond. Boardman beats Warren Harding 9-1 in softball. And I think South Range gets the win. We already talked about that with DJ yesterday. Salem baseball bounces back, but they had to come back against Carrollton as they get the win. And Boardman baseball gets the win last night over Warren Harding as well. All those recaps and stories can be found on ysnlive.com, along with Salem Tennis continuing their win streak. That can be found on ysnlive.com as well. East Palestine, one more score, got the win over Wellsville on the softball diamond last night as well, 18-3. So East Palestine looks good. I think it was 18-5, 18-5 was the win for East Palestine. But East Palestine looking good over Wellsville. And once again, all those stories can be found on ysnlive.com, and the recaps and the post-game interviews and all that fun stuff on the website. Make sure to check it out. We're going to take our first break of the day. When we get back, we'll have more fun with Scotty and Ty and Brian Tolnar coming on at 1 o'clock. Don't miss that. This is Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you. Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig, Scotty Mincher, and Ty Bartell all with you today on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Ty, I want to talk about a program that is really lighting the world on fire, probably not getting talked about nearly as much as it should in the local media. It is the Canfield girls lacrosse team. They got a win last night over Orange. Yes, that Orange up in Cleveland. And their goalie, Carly Dapolito, is the top-ranked goalie in the state. And Canfield continues to beat really big teams out of really big cities. As last night against Orange, Canfield was able to get the 14-0 victory over Orange. 4 goals by Emily Wilson, Allie Wilson, Sarah Growowski, sorry about that, Elena Martin, each added 3, and then Riley Kostelek added a goal as well for Canfield. And Dapolito, who is the top-ranked goalie in the state for lacrosse, got 4 saves on 8 total shots for the Canfield defense. Canfield will play against Western Reserve Academy in Hudson on, I should say tonight, not on tonight, but tonight.
What's your thoughts on lacrosse, Scotty? You ever seen anything about it, or what do you know about lacrosse?
Yeah, I do. I've occasionally watched it when they've had it on ESPN. I've always been intrigued, especially because being such a big Cleveland sports fan and knowing a lot about the history, people talk about Jim Brown and the great running back he was, and some people say that he was the greatest running back of all time. Some people even go as far as saying he was the greatest NFL player of all time. I've heard people say, but what they forget is how good of a lacrosse player he was at Syracuse University. And when you said orange there, Anthony, I couldn't help but think of Syracuse and Jim Brown's lacrosse career. So it's always been a sport that I've been incredibly compelled by, and it's just fantastic to see Canfield so dominant right now.
I was wondering too, because Scotty usually does a great job of tying it all together, and I was wondering where you were gonna hook it to, and you hooked it right there, Scotty. And that's
he just brought up Jim Brown's lacrosse career at Syracuse. If that's a sign of what your trivia questions are going to look like.
I love it. I love Scotty. Scotty's got it all up here, man. He's got everything ready. He sounds like a book anymore.
It just doesn't get enough respect. I had to bring up Jim Brown and his lacrosse.
I mean, I actually like the times I've actually been able to see lacrosse. I'm actually incredibly interested by the way it's played too, and I love the dynamics of the sport too. And I mean, credit to Canfield too. That's the things I love to see too. Is like the sports that maybe not get a lot of highlight, but there's still great athletes in this area for
I
it.
tell you, with the success that Canfield the girls lacrosse is having, don't be surprised if they start popping up on Running Point every now and then with some player profiles and some coaches' corners. We're going to get this program highlighted because they're putting in a lot of work. That's another road victory. They went on the road to play Orange. I mean, how many teams are just traveling up to Cleveland? We're just going to go play Orange in a casual kind of setting, and they dominate the I don't even know what Orange is. I think they're the Bulldogs. 14-0. 14-0. And they have the top-ranked goalie in the state in Carly Dapolito.
Kicking butt and taking names.
Yep, kicking names and taking butt. I mean, what? Yeah, no, they're definitely on the rise. A program on the rise in Canfield, and once again, lacrosse is a sport that we're not going to ignore. Just like we saw the success that Salem Tennis was having, and we got Keith Parker on last week. We are going to work diligently to make sure that this Canfield girls lacrosse team that is putting in so much work and so much time to be as successful as they are, that they get highlighted and get a light shined on them here in the next couple days or the next week or so.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting too to get our first lacrosse interview too on Running Point.
I love how they the abbreviation for lacrosse is LAX. I always like that.
Yeah.
So where'd the X come from? Well, apparently X is the sign for a cross. So La, LA, and then cross and X.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I always thought like LAX. What are they flying out of? Are they flying out of Los Angeles?
Scotty only knows X because he's the X Factor.
The X Factor. I like that.
I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs had a pretty big X Factor back in the day with Dante Hall. They called him the X Factor.
They did have a really.
And they called him the human joystick, which Scotty could be called that too.
Hey,
because he's got a joystick right there.
Hey, I still Dante Hall was great and everything, but I'm still taking Josh Cribbs over.
Did he come close to the record for returns in a season? Because I think Dante Hall tied it twice.
I know Cribbs broke some records.
He broke his ankle. This is what he did.
Broke his ankle is what he did.
I'm super stoked that we're gonna be getting back to the lacrosse. I'm super stoked that we're gonna be giving Canfield their just doing covering this sport.
Maybe we'll save that for Wednesday, and you can be a part of the interviews too.
I would love it. Absolutely.
Ty, I don't know how much you got to watch while you were at Fitch. Like Scotty nailed interviews with player profiles and Brian Tolmar. Like we had guests on, and he's like, "I'm going to ask questions." He came in, the hard-hitting reporter questions that only Scotty would ask. And
Scotty is the reporter, man.
I mean, like we got to get this guy like his own studio set up so he can start doing player profiles for us.
Yeah, Scotty. I mean, if you did like a weekly player profile for us, we would love to even feature you on Running Point too. Like, get those reporter questions going, Scotty. Let's ask the hard questions out here.
Hey, somebody's got to do it, right?
Right. That's the truth.
All heat, nothing. It's all high heat, nothing easy.
You see Scotty start coming into the office with like a pencil in his ear and a notepad, and he's ready all the report like. He's got like prepared. He's gotten all this information on a player, and he's kicking our butts for player profiles.
He's got a fedora jacket.
He's got the fedora and the jacket. He's ready. I love it. Scotty, if you come next week in a fedora, I think I'll be. Well, I won't be here, but I would be so happy if you came 2 weeks from now in a fedora.
You know,
you got a fedora?
I can make that happen.
Oh yeah,
the press too. It'll say like press on the on the head.
Yeah,
that's Scotty. Scotty's the reporter.
Hey, like I said, somebody's gotta do it, right? I gotta keep spreading my wings, expanding my horizons here. Why you can't keep a bird at some point, you know, they gotta fly. You sometimes their feathers are just too bright.
Scotty's getting me fired up. Like we will no longer be caged.
Can't keep them caged in.
Scotty did the girls basketball all-star game, and he's ready to take the next step now with these.
I'm ready to fight the rebellion now.
Yeah, I already knocked the game with Anthony off my list of the All-Star game, but I gotta knock off a game. We gotta do a game together.
I haven't even done a game with Ty. He's fickle. He wants to be in by himself.
Yeah, pickle, whatever. Get out of here.
He's like Min Scully. He's like, I'm so good. I'm so
good. I don't need nobody.
I've actually done games with only a pretty limited group. The ones that are in YSN, I mean, CJ, Eric.
He's done more games with the Casual Sports Podcast people than he did.
Yeah, Alec. I've done 4 games with Alec in my life. I've done 1 with CJ, 1 with Eric. I've done 2 with DJ.
And I'm sitting with 0.
And you're sitting with 0. I've done 1 with Quinn, too. I have done a game with Quinn. I've done 1 with Richie.
I can't remember who the player was, Ty, that hit the shot, but since I've been a part of the YSN family, my favorite call of yours was from about a year, maybe a little over a year ago, and Sebring wanted it, the Buzzer boys basketball.
Matt Bird.
That was an outstanding call.
I don't know how they just keep ending up in my lap, but like there's always these walk-offs too.
The Bird.
I just let it go too. I just let it go. I feel the moment and I just let it go.
He pulls a Frozen. He just lets stuff go.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Well, you got to call back-to-back home runs last night. That's pretty rare in the softball world.
That was
you didn't even have time to take a breath.
No, that was exciting. It was coming in right off the bottom of the 4th inning. I was coming off a commercial break too, so it's literally like welcome in everybody. In the first inning, it's like, well, there's that one, and it's like just getting hyped up for Maddie T hitting a home run, and then Sid doesn't even let me catch my breath before she puts one over the fence.
Imagine if they went back to back to back because
They just keep going. They just
isn't Hogan next in the lineup after Watts?
I think Hogan was 7th. I think. Yeah.
You know what we're really stuck with? I always think about, like, if you're there live watching it, you like have to go to the bathroom or you go to get a
That's
hot
my biggest
dog
fear
or
ever.
something, and you miss. Can you imagine missing back-to-back jacks? Like, that's got to be just awful.
You're in the restroom and you hear the crowd go nuts and you're like, oh, I just missed that. And then you can't get it back.
No, never getting it back.
That's why I hold it at games.
I do too.
Hold it down.
As
I've even thought about getting the pens at some point.
Oh, please no.
It's
No, not that far.
It's
not that serious. It's not that serious, Scotty. I'm never sitting with you in a sporting event again. Now you know it.
Scotty won't miss a second of the action.
No, I can't. I'm committed. Die-hard fan.
No. Speaking though, when you were talking about Anthony, you talked about McKenna Hogan in the lineup. We have McKenna Hogan from the Falcons softball team, going to be due up to come on the show tomorrow at 12:32 for a little player profile interview. So we'll be excited to talk with the Falcons catcher that has now caught 2 no-hitters on the season too, and was also a part of the team that featured Lydia Spalding last season too, the junior catcher for the Falcons. We'll be talking
Just to clarify, she's going to come on 12:30, 2, not 12:32 is the time. People are going to be waiting and think she's coming on early when she pops in at 12:30. She's 2 minutes early. 12:30, TOO.
Yeah. At 12:30, we'll have McKenna Hogan on for tomorrow as a confirmed guest. So should be exciting for us tomorrow to feature a little more of that Falcon softball team.
One of the best defensive catchers in the area. I think we have 3 really, really good ones that could be on that list. And Kelly Zolik, McKenna Hogan, and Carson Moore all being talked about.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, she definitely, especially with a girl like Sydney Watts, she has a lot of heat on that pitch, on the fastball, on the rise ball, and sometimes that rise ball will rise a little bit too much. McKenna Hogan does a great job of bringing those back down to earth and keeping them right there in front of her too. So credit to Hogan because she does a great job of don't discredit to Sid because obviously Sid's phenomenal, but McKenna Hogan makes Sid that much better too because of what she's able to do behind the plate.
Start calling her gravity, Scotty. She's bringing balls back down to earth and keeping them locked down on the surface.
Gravity, I like that. That was a decent movie too, not bad.
Oh, the movie, it was good special effects, lackluster performances.
The critic, Scotty, now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. I really enjoyed the special effects, but the performances, they left quite a bit to
Once Sandra Bullock started barking, I was like, well, this is we gotta stop this.
The one person that has a performance on the money and on the mark all the time is Mr. Brian Tolnard, too.
He should be here pretty soon to get us back on track, thank God.
We patiently look forward to Brian Tolnard, too. You got a chance to talk with him. And just give us a little brief recap on Brian Tolnard's return from last week and what we can look forward to talking about this week.
Well, he talked about all the great things you can sign up for in these spring and summer festivities, I would say, at Mill Creek Park and Mill Creek Metro. But we also previewed the Masters a little bit. Scotty Scheffler won the Masters, by the way. That's a guy that about 40 days ago, he won his first tournament. Now he's number 1 in the world and he wins a Master. I mean, talk about a good couple months for Scotty Scheffler. We'll talk to him about that. But yeah, we just got a good update on Mill Creek Golf Course and the Mill Creek facility and all the good things that you can sign up for in the spring and the summer to get your kids involved. You see commercials on YSN all the time, soccer leagues, flag football, deck hockey, all that stuff. Brian went into detail with about how you can sign up and all the fun stuff. We're actually going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get ready for Brian Tolnar real quick on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig, Scotty Mincher, and Ty Bartell with you, and we are going to be joined by the golf guru himself from Mill Creek Metro Parks. It is Brian Tolnar. We love having you on. Welcome back to the show. Last week was your christening back to Running Point, and now we got you back with Ty because Ty's off of his assignment in Austintown, fit like he was last week. So, Brian, welcome back.
We got the trio this week. I like it. How are you guys?
We're all good.
Good.
Scotty, you good? Yeah.
I'm
Ty's good.
Three amigos.
Yeah.
Brian,
Definitely excited.
I want to start off, Brian, by talking about some things in Mill Creek that are going on. I see that the registration is now open for the Par 3 Boys Golf League that's going to be happening at the Wick Recreation area. Talk about this league and what it entails and why people should think about registering and what they would expect if they do register.
Well, we just opened that up, I want to say, maybe a little over a week ago, the Friday before last. And it's really a league that's been with us for probably about, I want to say, a little over 40 years or so. It was formerly known as the Sandwich Factory Boys and Girls Golf League. The girls have picked up a new sponsor, and the Metro Parks is taking over the boys, and obviously in search of a sponsor. So if anybody out there that's interested in sponsoring a youth golf league, it's a great entry point on a facility that's really conducive to bringing new people into the game of golf. It's open for kids that are ages 5 to 15. Each Saturday morning, they tee off at 8 o'clock. They're done by 10. The girls league comes in at 10 and plays until noon. Just a really good league to get your feet wet with the game of golf. Even if you're the established player, it's great for your short game. It's great for your short irons. It's something we really wanted to keep going here. So obviously when we lost the sponsorship opportunity, it was imperative that we kept the league going. So our staff here at the main golf course is going to run it for the time being and probably for the latter part of this year. I've got a lot of interesting things for the kids, a little bit different than they've been doing in the past. It'll be a 12-week golf league where there'll be 10 days of playing individual stroke play. Parents will caddy for the kids each week. It's something that our 7-year-old participated in last year, had a lot of fun with it. Halfway through the season, we're going to have a four-person scramble. And at the end, we'll have a 4-person scramble. The parents will be involved in some sort, and then we'll have a closing league banquet. So with that, the kids will get a shirt with the league, a little prize pack, some gifts each week for close to the pins. Just something fun. And it's really, for us, it's an entry point for filling up our junior golf camps and clinics and programs throughout the year by getting kids involved at that 5-6 years old age bracket and you're really growing and grooming them into the game of golf. So, we're certainly excited to keep that going. It is a little bit of work. And like I said, we are looking for sponsors. So if there's anybody out there that would be interested, please feel free to reach out to us. But it's a important component for us when it comes to a programming perspective.
The parents get the caddy for the kids. Oh, how the tables have turned. You can carry my
Yep.
stuff for once. I
My
love it.
my wife got the caddy all season long with Preston, so it's pretty neat. You know, my wife and Preston would go to Dunkin' Donuts on the way there, get breakfast, go play golf, and then he'd come up here and chip and putt and hit balls and stuff on the range. So I mean, it's a great day for you as a parent to get out with your kid to walk the par 3. It takes about maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Tops, because the golf course is short and you can buzz around pretty quick. I believe they had about 38 or 40 kids in it last year. Back in its heyday, when we first started, we had about 80 to 90 in there with a waiting list. So we're hopeful that, obviously we'll bring that back to where it was a few years ago. So it's like any sport, it's, really cyclical compared to every other option that's out there in the spring. But we think with the time frame of it starting on the 14th of May and running through the end of July, it's a really good window to where, you could still juggle a summer vacation from a family's perspective and do things that you want to do through the course of the summer. Because like I said, it's early in the morning and you're pretty much done and out of there by about 10 a.m. So it's a lot of fun for the kids.
Getting these courses back to tip-top shape after the winter, because we know those grounds crews work tirelessly. But I mean, the amount of rain that we've had too, I'm sure it's not been easy. Talk to me. Is there any certain holes on the course that we find a little bit tougher to keep up with during these times of weather like this?
Well, we've taken on it's funny because throughout the course of the week the weather's been actually pretty nice, but heading into like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single week it seems like we either have snow or we have a lot of rain on one of the 2 weekend days that really just dampens the whole weekend and makes it to the point where people just don't want to leave the house because it's so cold. I worked last Saturday. I think we made it to about 42 or 45 degrees, had quite a bit of rain, and then Sunday it flipped the other way. But the facilities are still wet. Played in the tournament on Monday. We got 15 holes in before we got rained out just down in Akron. Just bummed that you couldn't play the last 3 holes and just finish the thing because it was a shotgun start. But we took on about 2 inches of rain down in Akron. We drove home the entire way from Akron back to Youngstown, and it poured buckets. So I knew it was not going to bode well for here because we're wet to begin with. The north course is open. The south course is open. It is cart path only. The south course is probably a little bit wetter than the north. Historically, it always is, even with the drainage and stuff that we put in. Driving range was supposed to open on Monday of next week. It probably looks like that got pushed back about a week. So hopefully we have days like yesterday where you have some wind and the sun's out. The sun, other than like yesterday, we haven't seen sun since like October. So it seems like it's out for 30 seconds and gone, but you need the daylight, you need the sun, and you need some wind. And hopefully we'll be able to get it here the next couple of days and dodge some of the stuff that's supposed to be coming today and tomorrow and have that good weekend. But we definitely need a nice weekend.
Brian, I want to talk to you about one of our local golfers that made a commitment to play collegiately. Ryan Sam out of Boardman has decided to continue his career at Youngstown State University. I know you get to see him a lot at Mill Creek. Talk about what you've seen from him, what makes him special, and how excited YSU should be to get him in their program.
Well, they've had a lion's share of players coming out of Boardman, and obviously playing high school golf here certainly helps. I think he's done extremely well. I've worked with him a little bit to get him in the Hudson Invitational, which is a junior tournament here locally, where they bring in really some of the top high school players all around the country to compete. So he's in that field this year. He'll be participating in that. I think it's in July or early August. Can't remember what the dates were on that, but I mean, it's a big deal from an amateur junior perspective. And, just being able to be able to play here locally at home and travel with Youngstown State and to continue his career here at Mill Creek I think is pretty special. Like I said, YSU's had a great run. They had a great tournament over the weekend, and I think he'll make a important part of that lineup as we graduate some players on that Youngstown State golf team, which will happen this spring and this fall. So we've had a lot of players from locally that have had a good career there. Kenny Keller, Brian Corduple, Brian Terleski, Cade Krebs. It seems like everybody that was on that golf team, I think my first 2 years here, has made a really good run at being able to participate and compete at Youngstown State. So this really just continues on with what Coach Tony Joy's been able to accomplish here locally with recruiting and getting players right from the Mahoning Valley.
Brian, let's talk a little bit about just going forward with this season too, and with the weather warming up a little bit more. I mean, it's obviously getting nicer out, so we're seeing a little bit more people getting out there as well. Let's talk about what's coming up in the coming weeks for Mill Creek too, for the community to get out to and enjoy over there at Mill Creek as the weather warms up.
Well, we have our family fun nights that started the beginning of this month on Friday and Saturday evenings, where a family of 4 can come out with carts for $25. It's our way of really making golf extremely affordable and giving access to anybody who wants to play. So, I mean, I don't know too many places that you can get a foursome out for $25 with 2 carts and really to play as much golf as you want on a Friday or Saturday evening after 5:30. So that's, one of the things that are going on here. And then our ladies golf schools, our ladies preseason clinic, of which the preseason clinic has a 1 spot still available. The ladies golf school has been sold out with a waiting list for about a week or 2 now. Those kick off the first week of May. Our PGA Junior League orientation is the 6th of May on Friday. And then we kick off our PGA Junior League season the following Tuesday. You throw that in, our junior camp has been, since being announced in, mid to late February. We've got 9 spots left in that for a June camp, which is, we're certainly excited to be able to have an opportunity to fill these, camps and clinics up. We were sold out the last 2 years. And that's what fighting through COVID on the back half of 2 years ago. And last year, the numbers were just unbelievably good. Same thing follows with our PGA Junior League. We've expanded that role to 2 teams this year, and we've got some players that are alternates, waiting to get into that as well. So, with the programs that we've got here, the attendance and the interest level's been, through the roof. So we're actually, believe it or not, we have a fall junior camp in October, which is at our place here at the main golf course and at the par 3. I think I've got 9 or 10 signed up for that already that, may have not gotten in the first one. They're already thinking about the fall. So it's great to see the interest level in the game of golf and how far we've come in the past 8 years here. It's just been a tremendous amount of growth in getting people that may not have played the game, acclimated with the game at a very young age, and getting moms and dads. And, it used to be dad would come out on a weekend and play and maybe play in a league during the week. Now we've got mom playing on Friday and Saturday evenings. Now we've got the kids playing, and it's a family affair now. So, we're excited about that. And then obviously our AJGA and Nota Pga just had a meeting with the state qualifier crew from the Nota Pga. That'll be held on the 7th of May. So another national, qualifier. Basically we host their tournament in July, but they do a state qualifier in May to get a couple spots in. The lineup is certainly strong. We're just waiting for Mother Nature to start cooperating and giving us some sun and drying the place up. But, the place that we're in for the game of golf right now, especially in the metro parks, is probably the strongest I've seen it in the 8 years I've been here. We're coming off record years for the last 2 or 3 years in a row. And that's, really what's shutting down for 2 months for COVID. So, it's a safe sport. It's a fun sport where you can get out and enjoy nature. And I think that, the nature of our golf course really ties in with the metro parks as a whole. It really ties in with the park system. I mean, what you see throughout the park is really what you see when you get to the two golf courses here and the par 3 course and the Wick property down the road.
Brian, our CEO and boss man, DJ Oakley, is down in Myrtle Beach with some baseball and softball teams. He wants to let you know that he had a good round down there thanks to your tutelage for his golf swing. So thank you for pointing him in the right direction.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. I hope he's enjoying some nice weather while he's down there, and obviously he's getting some golf in, which is a great thing.
That gives us a good time to just preview. Everyone loves your golf tips, but we're going to make this kind of a web series with Brian Tolnar's golf tips. Do you want to kind of give people a little bit of tease of what might be coming in the next couple of weeks as the weather gets more consistently good?
Absolutely. As soon as it dries up a little bit and we get some foliage on the leaves, the tip series that we kind of started, I want to say middle of last year, maybe beginning of last year, or we would chime in from time to time. We're really looking to do a weekly series that has some video to it. So you can get that visual of what we're trying to do when it comes to, whether it be, the 3 grips that are involved in golf, the overlap, the baseball grip, the interlocking grip, to really kind of give you that visual of what we're trying to do from a swing perspective, from a golf tip perspective, whether it's how to conquer a bunker shot, how to hit a chip and run. We want to be able to bring some video coverage to the golf course here and really tie in to everything that we're trying to explain as we go through the golf tips, whether it's a putting tip or whether it's a driving tip, a fairway bunker, greenside bunker. We want you to have that visual to really what we're trying to do. We can explain it extremely well. There's some people that learn, a lot differently and a lot better with a visual. So really just giving that added bonus of a visual along with some audio and really trying to feel like if we're trying to make a shoulder turn, what you're trying to see. Is it here? Is it, over here? Really give the player that's listening out there an opportunity to, learn beyond just me verbalizing what's going on. Have that visual, have the kinesiology of what the body's trying to do throughout the course of a golf shot, or what the thought process is when you're looking at a pond in front of you, or there's a bunker between yourself and a chip shot that you're trying to hit. So, those are the things that, DJ and I have talked about to expand really what we're trying to do here. And I think, once we get some good weather and a good weather pattern going here, we get some foliage on the leaves to where it looks like a golf course again, which hopefully will be very, very soon. We have decided to really try to tape a series that will unroll, whether it be on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, that goes along with our golf tip segment. So we're excited about that. And we're excited about giving people the opportunity to have a golf tip that they can see a visual with.
All right, Brian, before we let you go, Scotty's got one fired up for you.
Yeah, just a quick one for you, Brian. I just wanted to turn back the clock a little bit to this past weekend in the Masters and Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters and him still being, really young at just 24 years old. I wanted to ask you, do you think he could be a guy that could be the next face of golf? I mean, the headlines are still dominated by Tiger, but Tiger's 46 years old now, and that Masters win seems like a long time ago, especially with this car accident and the injury he sustained. So do you see Scheffler maybe being the next golf superstar, or do you still think there's a lot of really good players and it's kind of wide open?
Well, I think the talent on the PGA Tour right now is probably as deep as it's ever been. You look back to the late 90s and early 2000s, you had, 2 or 3 people that really dominated the tour. Tiger obviously being the head of that class. You had Phil Mickelson, you had Ernie Els, you had Goosen that was in there, in and out every once in a while. But, for the most part, it was really Tiger and Phil and a little bit of Ernie for a couple of years. VJ, bounced in and out. I would like to see a guy like Scotty Scheffler, really, take the lead at, basically putting the tour on his back and going from there. Now he's certainly, excuse me, has won, 4 events now in about 57 or 58 days. I was reading that stat and was like blown away. But, if you look back at the victories that he has, it has been in a very quick time frame. I'll be interested to see how he competes in the rest of the majors and how the fame is going to give him the notoriety that comes along with being a major champion over the next year. You look at a guy like Scotty Scheffler. I look at him over the course of a 2-year period. What is he going to do post Masters? Is he still going to have that same level? Because, when you win a major like Scotty won over the weekend, a lot of things come with it. A lot of responsibilities from a sponsor's perspective. You're getting pulled 17 different ways. You've got other endorsements coming with equipment, and a lot of those guys will take a $20 or $30 million contract adjustment with a different company because they're going to get more than the current vendor that they're playing. And a lot of them do that and struggle with the equipment. So, I'm waiting to see what he does before I make that call. Would I like to see him as a leader on the PGA Tour? Absolutely. I mean, if you look at, just going back to the depth, Justin Thomas had a phenomenal career kind of tapered off a little bit. Ricky Fowler's tapered off the last 2 years. Jordan Spieth, was a world beater until he had that one bad hole at the Masters on number 12 and made 9 or whatever the year that Tiger won. Was really, raising his game to the next bar. And, you've got Jason Day's been in that mix. You've had, now Scotty Scheffler, and Dustin Johnson's been number 1 in the world. So you've had this, rotation of players. Will there be a player like, Tiger that was number 1 for 800 and some weeks? Probably not for a while, because the depth of the tour is so much better now. But would I like to see Scotty Scheffler in that role? Absolutely. I think he's great for the game. I think he's as laid back and as down to earth as any player on the PGA Tour. Married his high school sweetheart. You don't see that ever anymore. And, you talk about the guys that have been in and out of the mix, Bryson DeChambeau, Colin Morikawa. That's how good the depth of this tour is. It's very hard to dominate like Tiger did in the 90s, because, really, if you look through the 90s, there's about 20 players that really won tournaments and really raised the bar. Now it's 50 or 80 deep. I mean, Jason Kokrak's in that, winning 3 or 4 times in the last year and a half. So, I mean, you've got a lot of guys that are doing some great stuff. It's who can do that consistently week in and week out for 5 years, 10 years, 8 years down the road that is going to make it a little bit tougher on their end.
Scotty Scheffler went from not having a win to now he's number 1 in the world. What a whirlwind it was for him.
Yep.
Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this week. We love having you on. We look forward to next week, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
You got it. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Brian Tolar, our golf guru from Mill Creek Metro Parks. We thank him for coming on as always, and we're happy to have him back on as the weather starts to shine brighter and brighter. We can't wait for that tip series either, the tip web series, that not just us, but DJ and everyone else that is trying to improve their golf swing is desperately looking for, because we've been saying a pamphlet for a while, but now we've taken the pamphlet, we crinkled it up, we thrown it over our shoulder. Forget pamphlet. We're gonna have a whole web series. So why have a pamphlet when you can have a web series, right, Scotty?
That's right. You don't need no pamphlets.
No pamphlets out here.
That's a dated way of
reading is for yellow bellies.
School is for boys. Look at me.
Scotty, it is time for the return of your trivia challenge with Ty. We have I'm going to give you 15 minutes, as many questions as you can get in 15 minutes. And let's see what we got for Scotty and Ty.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Number 1, Ty. Now, you're not going to be able to fact check this one, guys.
Geez.
So you just have to trust me on this.
I don't know.
This one here. I'm a man of my word. I don't lie or twist things. So here we go with this first question. I want to know what current Major League Baseball free agent and former Indian, of course, if he played for him now, he'd be a Guardian, but what former free agent player rehabbed with the Mahoning Valley Scrappers in the summer of 2010?
Ty is thinking. So basically, it's a former Cleveland player that rehabbed. Is there only one?
Again,
is there only one free agent right now that's rehabbed with?
Well, this is in 2010 too. This is the one I distinctly remember. Again, he is a current free agent. He's not on a team right now, so that's your one kind of.
2010 was so long ago. Indians.
You said it was just a player, right, Scotty? It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't plural.
If he rehabbed in 2010,
I would think the one player that I thought of that was big news that kind of made headlines was Asdrubal Cabrera.
Wait, I gotta get this reaction. Scotty, he got sniped.
You're just too damn good, man. All I can. Sometimes you just gotta tip your cap, like the Cavs had to do last night with
the Cavs are
against Kyrie Irving.
It was you almost had the 7 seed 10-point bonus, but now the Cavs are starting to fall out of 7.
They were the 8, so Ty almost had it dead on, and he probably would have if not for all the injuries.
It was close. If Jared Allen comes back, they're home on Friday. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, Ty, gut feeling not to get too far off track here.
Don't waste your trivia time.
Do you think the Cavs, regardless of who they play, do you think they get in the playoffs, or do you think their season is over?
I think they get in. They got a home game, and I'm not worried about Charlotte or Atlanta.
Okay, here we go with my second question for the day. Ty, this question has to do with the series that so many people are talking about right now, and it is Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. I already asked you one question a few weeks back in connection to this series, but I got another one. I don't know if you've watched it at all, Ty, but here it goes. I want to know from you. This is a two-parter. Who plays? What are the names of the actors that play Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the series on HBO Max, Winning Time, Rise of the Lakers Dynasty? If you could give me one of the actors that play Magic or Kareem, I'll give it to you, because I know coming up with
Ty doesn't need your help. No, he has got to get both of them, or he doesn't get anything.
Okay.
None of this.
Anthony objects. I was gonna make it
No.
easier.
Ty doesn't need that. He's a robot.
Okay.
Freaking robot. If he wants to take his lumps, he can take his lumps. All right, I got the Magic Johnson. Who else?
Anthony's just so salty because I keep on beating him in these other challenges too.
All right, so I got the two answers. I
think Magic Johnson was Quincy Isaiah and Kareem was Solomon Hughes.
Got you.
So you've been watching this,
yes,
haven't you?
sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know where he finds time to watch episodes of a series when he's doing games and working at Target. Find time to watch HBO Max too.
That's where sacrificing sleep goes into play.
This is another sports. It's not a sports television show or series question, but it's a sports movie question I have for you. Let's see if you could get this one. What actor played the superstar for the San Francisco Giants, Bobby Rayburn, in the movie, the 1996 film, The Fan with Robert De Niro? Who was the actor that portrayed superstar ball player Bobby Rayburn that De Niro grew in an obsession for?
Wasn't it the same guy that played Willie Mays Hayes, Wesley Snipes?
You're just I'm done.
You gotta get I told you gotta get really obscure with these, man. Wesley Snipes, Shaft.
Yeah.
Anthony's a Shaft.
That's actually Samuel L. Jackson. I got those two names down. Wesley Snipes plays
God,
Blade.
Wesley Snipes. Anthony went Shaft.
Yeah, it is Blade.
Yeah,
You're
Wesley
right.
Snipes plays Blade. My bad.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is Shaft. Scotty, you got another one? You got some time. You got 8 minutes.
Okay, I'll give you one more here, Kai. I want to know from you, I want to know who led the American League in saves during the 2007 Major League Baseball season.
Whoa.
This one I think is going to be a layup for you, but maybe not.
2007 MLB saves leader, right?
Yes, the 2007 MLB saves leader in the American League. He might have led the whole league, the entire league, but I'm not 100%. So we'll just go American League.
Let's see. I'm getting the website. I'm fact checking. No, we don't want WAR. I should go through this whole list and say, Ty, who led the WAR in 2007? Who led earned run average? Who had the most wins? Who had the most wins percentage?
I'm surprised because I thought he was going to get this one the quickest out
Who
of
had
any.
who had the most games played in 2007?
Well, the thing is, Scotty, it's obviously a Cleveland closer, but they've had so many throughout the years now. At that time in 2007, I think it was Joe Borowski.
Who?
I think it's Joe Borowski was the
You got
one
it.
in 2007.
You pronounced his name wrong, so that's only half.
It's Borowski. Is it Borowski?
Borowski, yeah.
So I get a half of that.
Okay.
If that's what you need. If you need your chump change points, Scotty, I'll toss.
I need something today. Ty, damn it. I'm getting too infuriated.
Ty, I just want to test your knowledge on 2007 baseball. I mean, because I have the list of all these names here. Who led the American League in wins above replacement in 2007?
Oh, the good old WAR. It probably, honestly, you said for all players?
I think this is American League. Yeah, American League leaders for wins above replacement, all players, not just.
I would think at that time it probably would have been Alex Rodriguez.
Yep. Let's see who led the AL in earned run average in 2007.
It was John Lackey, I think, with LA.
Who had the most wins in 2007?
Beckett with Boston.
Who had the best win-loss percentage in 2007?
That's tough. Like, what do you like? Which team or
no,
which?
Which pitcher? Which pitcher had the best win-loss percentage?
That's a good one. Because what was the record? I'm trying to think. Well, Sabathia technically won 2007.
I think we got him with one.
Cy Young. You might have got me with one. I'm thinking here. Because I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to say Beckett because I also know Roberto Hernandez had a few guys had 19. What was? I think Sabathia's was. I don't know how good his record was. I'll say Sabathia just for the heck of it.
Justin Verlander with a win percentage of 750.
That makes sense.
While he was in Detroit.
Thank you, Anthony.
Well, that's
for
one.
helping me out there.
Who led 2007 AL in the WHIP? Yeah, like trying to get this.
I would. I'm gonna go out on a limb, just because I think he's in our division. I say Johan Santana with Minnesota.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Right. What about who had the most hits allowed per 9 innings pitched? So this is like bad pitching.
Bad pitcher. I actually think It was Eric Bedard from Baltimore because I remember him being like the news headlines because he was like an all or nothing pitcher. It was like strikeout or he would get clobbered.
He gave up 6.9, actually around up to 7 hits per 9 innings pitched. But he also, like you said, led the AL in strikeouts with 10.9 per innings pitched. All right. I guess we got time for a couple more because it's 3 minutes until Scotty's time is up. Who led the AL in 2007 in total strikeouts?
I think it was Scott Kazmir that year.
It was.
Cleveland.
How about complete games?
Cleveland.
Who had the most complete games in 2007?
Oh, probably the workhorse Roy Halladay with the Blue Jays.
Yep, you got that. All right, these are 4 pitchers. Who are the 4 pitchers that are tied with the most shutouts in 2007? I'll give you a little. They all had 2.
Oh, wow. That's tough. That's real tough. I think Jose. Wait, no.
I got one more for
No,
you
we're-
to tie up.
Yeah,
No, Jose Contreras did have a couple with the White
That's
Sox,
one.
and Paul Bird with Cleveland had a
That's
couple.
2. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's tough. Because I don't think Hernandez had 2, and I don't think Sabathia had 2, but I know they had shutouts that season. Lackey, I think, might have had a couple.
That's
I'll
3.
say Lackey was on that list. That was more of a guess, but he had the most wins, and I
There's
thought he had
one
a couple.
more. With a minute left, can he get it in the nick of time?
Who was a workhorse?
I don't even know this guy's first name, to be honest. It just has his last name.
I would think. You know what? I'd say Jeff Weaver. I'll say
my
Jeff.
God.
I would think Jeff Weaver because he was an innings eater.
You're ridiculous. He got
he's
all
like-
those except one.
He's like Bruce Willis, unbreakable, man.
All of those except one. He missed the win percentage in 2007. But he knows the 4 pitchers that had 2 shutouts.
I can't throw one quickie in. I have to keep
No,
it in the
we're done. You have to keep it in the holster, Scotty.
All right, I'll keep it in the hole.
Because we have picks to make for tonight. And Scotty, you can join us in these picks if you please.
Sure.
On the network, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baseball game, 8 games total. I'm sorry, 5 baseball games, 3 softball games. We also have a tennis matchup tonight with Jefferson and Struthers. So let's pick these baseball games. First tie. Who won the night last night? I don't think it's you, but
Well, did we get scores in for Poland Jefferson baseball? Because the ones we've split on that we need scores for are Poland Jefferson baseball, Garfield Champion baseball, and Edison Oak Glen baseball. So those are going to be determining factors going forward.
Jefferson won 2-0.
Jefferson won 2-0 plus 2 there. There's day keeps getting better.
All right. What was the other ones?
Champion Garfield baseball and Oak Glen Edison baseball.
I know Champion won because they.
And that's who I picked. Just Anthony got super confident with it, and it came back to bite him.
Where is their Twitter account?
Champion, I believe, won 13-1 against Garfield.
13-1. 13-1. They scored in every inning. That did not work out for me at all.
Well, there's a plus 12, man.
And Spade started. That's shocking.
That's just one of those nights.
What was the other one?
Edison Oak Glen.
Hopefully I get this.
Oh, man, this would be a bad day for you.
Oakland won.
What was the score?
And the score was 2-0.
Okay.
I get 2 points.
-2 on that. So
Great.
it's a 20-point day for me. So I'm
That's why I'm going on vacation.
You said it, Ed. You said you're gonna drop a bunch and just leave.
Tomorrow's my last day before vacation for a reason. Let's go to Wednesday today. Baseball, Lordstown at Badger. We'll lead things off. Ty, you obviously won last night. You want me to take it or do you want it?
Go on, Ant. You can take it.
I'll take Badger.
Yeah, I'll take Badger too.
Scotty, Lordstown at Badger baseball.
I got to go with the Badger.
Badger. All right, we'll move on. Ursuline at Cardinal Mooney at scene 1, 5 o'clock first pitch. Alec Caberna will be on the call. Your first pick, Ty.
Does the sled keep on sledding? Is the question. How far is the slide going to be for Ursuline? Who's on the mound? Does Carrilla pitch again? If the Southpaw does, give me the Irish. I go Ursuline.
We can't go ifs.
Yeah,
I can't give you the win if Carrilla pitches.
No, but either way, I'm going Ursuline.
Okay. I'll split. I'll go Mooney. Scotty, what about you?
I'm going to go. I think Ursuline
Scotty's
starts to right the ship here, so I'll go with the
By the way,
Irish.
last week, Scotty split with me on like everything, so I just think he's just going opposite whatever I say.
Anthony hates your picks.
Well, Howland Canfield, round 2 on scene 3, 5 o'clock first pitch. Noah Ricks on the call. It is my first pick, and I'm not picking against Canfield after what we saw last night.
Cardinals.
Scotty?
Canfield. Who is Canfield facing off with? I'm sorry.
Howland.
I'm gonna go.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna go Howland here.
Oh, Scotty. Giving some love to the Tigers. All right. Next, we have Jefferson at Poland in scene 2. Going to get played at Scene Park. Noah Doty going to be on the call. This is a 5 o'clock first pitch. It is what? Yours?
Yeah.
Your first pick?
I'm rocking with the Falcons again. They didn't do me wrong last time. Let me get them again.
No, they're not sweeping Poland. No.
Anthony's dying and he's putting his foot down.
Give me the Bulldogs. Come on.
We got to split Mooney and Ursuline. And then we got to split again Jefferson, Poland.
Heartland Christian at Crestview. This is going to be a battle between. Scotty, I'm so sorry. I'm not used to you being in the thing. What about you, Scotty? You got Poland or Jefferson?
I say the bite is back. I am going with the Dogs.
I like it. Okay, let's go to Heartland Christian at Crestview, scene 2, 7 o'clock first pick. 2 teams that are really hot right now. It is my first pick, right? I'm going to go with the Rebels.
I got to go with the Rebels as well.
Scotty, Rebels or Lions?
I'm going to make it a perfect 3 for 3. Give me the Rebels.
So it's a running point sweep for Crestview. Garfield champion round 2. And we all know how the game went last night. How's it going to go tonight? 5 o'clock first pitch. Does that make Newton Falls look more impressive with the 7-6 win over champion?
It might be. I got to go
first pitch.
I got to go lay champion again.
All right. This one in champion, by the way. I'll go champion this time. I'm not going to poke the bear. Scotty, what about you?
Champions in the name, so it's hard for me to go against them.
That's right. We have Jackson Milton at East Palestine. It is my first pick. I'll pick Jackson Milton. Ty, what about you?
Got to go with the Jays.
Scotty, Jays or Dogs?
Going upset here. Woof, woof. Give me the Dogs.
Scotty is
the bite back on all fronts. It's Bulldog City here for Scotty.
Right. Can the Bulldogs make it a 3-peat with Scotty? Because Lakeview's traveling to Austintown Fitch, and they're coming off their win over Ursuline. Can they win against 2 big teams in the week? 5 o'clock first pitch from Fitch. It is. I don't even know. Is it mine or yours?
It doesn't matter.
Off my grade. I'm gonna pick Fitch.
Yeah, I'm still flying with the Falcons as well. I flew with Jefferson. I'm flying with these Falcons too. Give me Austin.
Scotty, you making a 3-peat for the Dogs?
Yeah, I've been going Dogs this whole show, so I can't turn back now.
He can't turn away one Bulldog. He's taking in all Bulldogs here.
Martin's Ferry going to Edison, 5 o'clock first pitch.
Got to go with the Cats on this one, though. Give me Edison.
All right, I'll rock the banner. Give me Edison. Scotty, what about you?
I just like the name Martin's Ferry.
Oh, he's putting on the villain hat, guys.
Yeah.
Rocking against the banner.
With
With a YSN hat on, he's rocking against the banner. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. We go to Wellsville at Lisbon. 5 o'clock first pitch. My first pick, I will take Lisbon.
Yeah, give me the Blue Devils.
Scotty, Lisbon, Wellsville.
I'm going to go Lisbon as well.
It's a clean sweep for the Devils. We have, why is East Palestine on here twice? Quinn. East Palestine is either playing Jackson Milton or East Liverpool. I don't know. We'll just pick them both. Just cover all of our bases. I'll take the Potters to beat them if they play East Palestine.
Oh, wow. Sure, I'll take the Potters as well, since I know Scotty's going Bulldog either way.
I can't go against the dog.
Obviously,
Scotty swerves all of us. He takes the Potters in this matchup for some reason.
Obviously, when the schedule, we'll keep updated with the schedule. Go to ysnlive.com/live. That is the official part where you can see what games are going on for the night. As far as softball goes, we already saw South Range this afternoon. They were actually playing during our show against Louisville. We'll get a score update soon for that one. But our Louisville, not South Range Louisville playing in Myrtle Beach, our Louisville traveling to Ursuline and at the YSU softball complex, 5 o'clock first pitch. I'll be on the call. It is my first pick, and I'll take the Irish to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going the Irish as well, Ant.
Scotty, Leopards or Irish?
I got some Irish in me, and I like my Irish whiskey, so I got to go with the Irish.
Scotty, don't drink and drive that thing.
I have before, but luckily I haven't gotten.
Don't admit that on the air.
I should.
Scotty.
I keep it to 1 or 2, though. That's why I don't get in trouble.
Liberty. They're going to make you do a field sobriety test, Scotty, to be able to use your chair.
Liberty at East Palestine softball. And it's going to be at the New Level complex in Unity. 5 o'clock first pitch. Chris Sigler going to be on the call. And Ty, I believe it's your first pick.
Give me EP in this one.
You know where I'm going. EP.
Give me the split.
Oh.
Give me Liberty Bibberty.
Oh, the villain.
Not really. Liberty's
one. I know you're not.
Beaver Local at East Liverpool. My first pick, and I will take the Potters.
Yeah, Potters.
Potters Beavers, the
Make
rivalry.
it a clean sweep. I'll go with the Potters too.
Mooney at East. 5 o'clock first pitch. Give me Cardinal Mooney to bounce back after their no hit against Fitch on Monday.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams get better too after facing a great pitcher like Watts. Give me Mooney.
Mooney East, Scotty.
I'm gonna go with East here. I have a funny feeling, so give me East.
Scotty's like a bear's close enough to a dog. Got to go with it.
We talked about Lordstown Badger on the baseball side. They'll be playing each other on the softball side as well. Lordstown at Badger. My first pick, I will take Badger. Ty, what about you?
Yeah, let's keep rocking the banner. Go Badger.
Scotty?
Badger every day and all day on Sunday.
I love it. Niles at Cheney at the Field of Dreams, 5 o'clock first pitch. It is my first pick. I will take Cheney.
Yeah, I was going to take, what is it, Cowgirls?
Cowgirls.
Yep, Cowgirls.
Cowgirls or Dragons?
I'm going to go with the Cowgirls.
All right. Warren Harding will travel to Salem. Salem coming off that big win over to Lisbon last night. Can they keep it going? Ty, it's your first pick.
Quakers.
Quakers for me too. Scotty, Quakers or Raiders?
I'm going with the Raiders.
Picking against the YSN banner again. I'll tell you, Scotty.
Being a rebel.
I know. Not the Crestview variety either. Wellsville at Lisbon. Can Lisbon bounce back? That's the question. And I will answer it with an emphatic yes. I think Lisbon gets to win tonight. Ty, what about you?
Yeah, I think this is a perfect game for Lisbon to try to find their identity and find themselves. Give me Lisbon in this.
Scotty, Tigers, Blue Devils.
Another sweep. Give me Lisbon.
All right, Western Reserve at Waterloo. This one, first pitch at 5 o'clock, is your first pick, Ty. Waterloo, Western Reserve.
Sweethearts.
The Vikings for Ty, the Vikings for Ant, and Scotty, Vikings, Blue Devils.
Oh, I got it. My one of my best friends loves the Minnesota Vikings. So for that reason only,
that reason only.
That reasoning made Scotty sound like one of the celebrity guest pickers on College Game Day. It's like, well, my roommate goes to Kansas State, so I got to pick the Wildcats.
This is a good Western Reserve team too. This will be fun for the Scarlet side. This is a good matchup, conference matchup.
That'll do it for tonight in the action that is going on. Once again, we will have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, it's 8 games today, 7 tonight because South Range happened at noon. So South Range softball happened already, but 8 other games is we'll have on the network. Go to ysnlive.com/live to find out if your team is on the network tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, weather pending. I mean, we have YSU baseball tomorrow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baseball games, 3 softball games all tomorrow. So it'll be a big night on the network tonight and tomorrow night.
It'll be exciting too. We split on 3 games total: Mooney Ursuline baseball, Jefferson Poland baseball, and then East Palestine and Liberty softball. So we'll be looking in and tuning into those scores too, hopefully for Anthony to swing this thing around. I believe right now, currently, you're down, 22?
I need some big wins.
Yeah, you need some big wins.
Even with my 2-point victory?
Yes, that's 22 with that. But we still have to calculate the scores from Friday's show.
We will do eventually.
Yeah.
One of these days.
We will do. We'll try to get that score updated too to make sure, because you probably have some points on that.
What's the total? Like
right now?
Yeah.
We were at 29-29. I took the lead 31-29. And right now it is 51 or 53, excuse me, 53. And then you have 31.
Oh.
Down. But we've seen it.
Down goes Hartwig. Down goes Hartwig.
I've taken big leads before, and we've seen these games. Like, no one's going to predict the Garfield champion. Garfield champion just proved that this sport of baseball can be fickle sometimes, and sometimes those explosions happen. And no doubt, Ant, one game too. That's all it really will take for you to get right back into this.
Garfield win tonight.
They probably will. Jefferson might lose to Poland, and if Poland takes it too, takes frustrations out. We've seen that happen in series too, where one time, hey, what was it? Edison and East Liverpool was a perfect example. One was an 18-0 game, the other one they lost 1-0. Like it could be the biggest swings. So we look forward to it.
One cancellation to get to today, as Jackson Milton softball still looking to get back on the field. They are postponed today against McDonald. They have rescheduled this as a doubleheader on the 15th at noon. So that'll be Saturday at noon, a doubleheader with Jackson Milton and McDonald at McDonald. I'm assuming they'll flip designated home teams. But Jackson Milton still trying to get on the field, and they'll have to wait until Saturday.
Yeah, and it'll be fun to see and see what they're able to do.
So that'll do it for today's episode of Running Point. Scotty, thank you so much for sitting with us the whole show and adding some great conversation and adding some great questions to our guests. And we appreciate you every Wednesday coming on with us.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm always like a kid in a candy store here at YSN on Wednesday. I love it, man. So anytime you want me on, I'm down to do a full show.
You might have to be sidecar again next Wednesday. I'll be in Knoxville for leg 2 of my vacation, and you and Ty might be on the reins next Wednesday.
Yeah, we can. I could definitely have you riding shotgun with me next Wednesday, Scotty.
If it's okay with Ty, although we're going to have nobody to fact check questions, so I won't be able to throw out my questions.
We could maybe do trivia 2 weeks from now. We can see.
You can do questions. You just have to be for that week. You have to be what is it? Like a pickup basketball game where you call your own fouls and it's
gentlemen's rules, Scotty.
Instead, we'll have gentlemen's rules trivia next week.
All right, cool.
Ty trusts you. Ty trusts you completely.
Yeah, I'll trust you.
I don't know if I do, but Ty does.
Yeah,
just don't bring Super Dave into the conversation. Then we have
Super Dave might corrupt you, Scotty. We can't do that.
Well, he gets everything based off like obscure documentaries,
right?
Like the Yankees, the home runs at Yankee Stadium, Upper Deck, or whatever that was.
As we put a closed cherry on top of this Sunday of the running.
Thank you for saying it right for me, because I messed up that metaphor every time.
And cherry on top of the pie, whatever it was you said.
McKenna Hogan going to be on the show tomorrow at 12:30. Don't miss that. We'll have more surprises for you on Running Point tomorrow from 12 to 2. We're taking a 22-hour break. We'll be back tomorrow, as we said. Casual Sports Podcast coming up next. Power Hour from Myrtle Beach from 3 to 4. And then 7 games on the network tonight on ysnlive.com. Head over to ysnlive.com/live and check it all out. See you tomorrow.